right, welcome to BlueTube's channel. My name is Joshua Williams. I'll be hosting today's first official episode of Scot Ones. And I'm here today with Dr. Michael Nelson. He has his PhD from the University of Arkansas, his master's from Bowling Green University, and his bachelor's from Gustavus Adolphus College. Talk a little bit about yourself, if you'd like.
Yeah, I moved a lot in my life. I moved 16 times. Crazy, but I've lived here for the last 26 years. I came here in 2000, but originally from Chicago and lived in Connecticut, Ohio, Florida, Kentucky, Arkansas, Illinois, Minnesota, and some of those places several different times.
Okay, let's get into it.
All right.
So the order of this interview is we have some questions here, and every time we answer a few questions, we're gonna eat some wings. So first question is, what was your favorite subject in school as a kid?
My favorite subject? I think it depended on who my teacher was. Okay. Because I could do really well in classes if I liked the teacher. Mm-hmm. And then amazingly, I failed some classes that you wouldn't think I would fail. But
really?
Yeah. I got like a D in US history in high school. I didn't do any of the busy work. So I would do great on the exams and then fail the homework because I usually didn't do it. And when you move around a lot, you can kind of get away with that stuff. So that's what I did. But so my favorite class of all time in high school, driver's ed.
Driver's ed.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, we don't have. I don't think I've
we had that in Chicago, and we would have a class where we learned to go and drive, and our driver's ed instructor each time would make us drive to a different restaurant in town, and we would get out and go have food and then drive back to school. So that's what we did.
Oh, that sounds great.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, so for our second question I have, what inspired you to become a historian in the first place?
I think because I moved around so much, I very quickly found myself on the outside. So I would move into a school, didn't really know people, so I was much more of an observer, so I spent a lot of time reading. Okay. And as a result of that, I fell in love with history, and when I went off to college, I quickly loved that, and fortunately, I was able to go on to grad school and find a place where I could teach for a living.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, let's get into our first sauce. We have Shadiqua's Hot Topic sauce. And then you can pour as much as you want on. Probably just gonna do a little bit like that.
I'm a fan of hot sauce, so we'll see how well this goes.
All right. First wing down.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Good.
Good, a little sweet. I like it. This is a good wing.
Okay.
All right, so keep going. All right, if you weren't a historian, what's a different career you would have chosen?
I always wanted to be a garbage man.
Really?
It seems so fun to go through. At one point, I used to go. I probably shouldn't admit to this, but yeah, when I lived in Chicago, we would go dumpster diving and we would go through trash, and you could find amazing stuff. And I was like, what a simple job! Just my job is to go and collect this stuff. At one point, I wanted to be a police officer. At one point, I thought I might pursue being a lawyer, but then I got smart and decided not to do that. But I don't know. Yeah, I probably, if I wasn't a teacher, probably sales of some sort. But I don't know. I don't have any real passion for anything else. Meteorologist.
Okay.
I love that, but I don't know if I'd learn all the science and whatnot. So.
Fun fact, I actually got my first basketball hoop from a landfill that was near my house.
So there you go. See?
Yeah, me and my friend was like, we were tired of walking like 3 miles to go to a basketball court. So we're like, hey, let's just go look around.
Yeah.
We saw it in, the ones that you fill up with water or concrete.
Yeah.
And then we just kept pulling it out the ground, and then there was a whole basketball hoop.
It's amazing
right
what people will throw away.
Yeah.
And where I was very fortunate that my parents were comfortable. So I lived in neighborhoods that often threw out stuff that was actually quite good. Got a TV, I did once get a mattress. I slept on a mattress I pulled out of the trash. A lawnmower, stuff like that. Yeah.
All right, so what made you want to study abroad when you were younger?
So I never studied abroad when I was young. When in college, we had a Maymester, or we had a J-term. Instead of May, it was in January. And the furthest I got is I went and spent 4 weeks in San Francisco. But the idea of going abroad was scary to me. I have no foreign language skills. As I tell people, I'm almost literate in English. So I never did that until I graduated from college and went over to Spain and hitchhiked around Spain with my sister and got turned on to traveling. And then of course coming to PC and taking students abroad. But I never did that in college, and I wish I would have. Looking back, it's a great opportunity where you get this chance where people care about you and they'll take you abroad or something. Yeah, but I love it now. I love traveling and trying all different things around the world and finding myself in a position where I don't know the language, I don't know the culture, I'm completely a minority and totally out of my comfort zone. I kind of treat it as like a daily escape room. So I was in Korea for almost 2 months during my sabbatical. And when I traveled around, I kind of approached it that way, like, okay, I don't know any Korean, but I'm gonna figure out how to get this or find this, or it didn't always work out, but it was a super cool experience. Yeah.
All right, so that brings us into our next hot sauce here. We have Seed Ranch's Just Winging It.
My mother will buy me hot sauce for Christmas. We will get through it sometimes. Some of them are really horrid, but some of them are pretty tasty. So
let's give it a try. That's really good, actually.
Yeah, that is good.
Okay, so kind of leaning off that last question, what was the moment when you were abroad that when you realized this is kind of changing how you see the world?
Anytime you're trying to look at a sign and you don't know what it means, anytime you're trying to figure out what something on a menu is and you don't know what it is. I mean, I can't remember the very first time where you just totally realize, I'm totally ignorant here. But it probably was, first time probably being in Spain in 1993 and backpacking around and not realizing I could talk to the pretty women at the bar because I didn't know how to speak Spanish. And so I just kind of sat there and my sister asked me, what would you say if one of those girls came over? And I was like, hello, perrito. And she's like, hello, little dog. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going with whatever. So no. But that was probably that sort of moment where you quickly realize, like, okay, I can't function in this society. But you can to a certain degree.
So what led you to Presbyterian College back in 2000?
A job offer. No, I wanted to be at a small liberal arts school. I went to a small liberal arts college. I was teaching at the University of Louisville. I was invited to apply for a position there, but they're a research institution. Not that I don't mind research. I'm much more of a teacher than a researcher. And I was fortunate enough to have more than one offer. And had I been single, I probably wouldn't have come to PC because of how isolated it was. I had a job offer from Tennessee State in Nashville. Tennessee State as a school was not a desired location. It was not a desired school to be at, but the location was cool. So I would have probably gone to Nashville instead of here. But because I was married and was not concerned with trying to meet people necessarily. was like, I'll come to this small town.
Yeah.
So,
how you liking the small town so far?
I have come to love it, but I've also changed a lot. When I came here, I was 29. I was probably mentally closer to the students than any of the faculty. Yeah, PC was a different place when I came here. It was the professional, social, and religious community all in one. And that was a little difficult to move into a place where I'm okay with the professional side, but social, I had my world. Religious, I have my world. And so, even though I live in town, I'm kind of an outsider.
Yeah.
But I've come to it's a great place to raise kids.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's good.
I don't think I would want to grow up here though.
Yeah, I can see
Just the limited opportunities, and you're in a fishbowl.
Yeah, especially being from Chicago.
I made too many mistakes. People would know. I mean, no, I mean that's the reality. Then, no. I needed that anonymity of a bigger place, moving around. So.
Yeah. So, what's the most exciting part about teaching history to students today?
Getting to know students, taking them abroad. Yeah. I mean, I've had really cool experiences at PC that our department has been successful enough that we have had the support of the administration, my colleagues, to teach a variety of different classes I never thought I'd teach, such as conspiracy or JFK. And so that's really cool to go explore those things. We're taking a group back to France to do a class on the World War I trenches. So super cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually really liked your military history class.
Yeah, that's another one. I'm required to teach that. That's part of the reason I got hired, because I had taught that, and our OTC cadets are required to take it. So it was a course, fortunately, that when they were doing the job for me, it was one of those, they have to be able to teach military history. I was like, woohoo, that's me. So yeah, it's kind of cool in that regard.
Yeah.
And I love that course.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to develop that over the years.
All right, let's get into our next hot sauce. We have Hot Ones Sriracha.
Last one had a little heat after the fact.
Yeah, once we started talking, I felt it a little bit. It was good though.
I'm also wearing my suit, so I'm gonna start sweating here quickly, but that's all right.
I put a lot on this one.
Cheers again, man.
Not as hot as I thought it would be.
No, that's good.
Okay, so what's something about your job that students probably wouldn't expect?
Something about my job? I mean, I won't speak for all professors, but the idea, the notion that I'm an expert in some field of study, in a lot of ways, it's not so much anymore because I've done this so many times, but when you first come in and you're like, oh, I've got to teach all of world history, my knowledge of Mesopotamia, in Egypt, in the Sumerians, is 1 page more than yours. And which probably yours is 0, and I've gone through the introduction page. So no, when you first come in as a professor, you get these gen ed courses, and we're supposed to teach world history as if we've studied that. When you go through graduate school, you become increasingly focused, so that like the last 4 years of your degree, you are really focused on one little aspect of history. You know it really well.
Yeah.
When you come here and we don't talk about that, you're supposed to know everything. And so you very quickly have to learn this stuff. But so I don't want to say we don't know as much as we know, but there's a little bit of that behind the scenes that we're kind of learning at the same time.
There's always room to grow.
Oh, absolutely. I'm learning how ignorant I was every semester. No, I worry when I don't. I mean, anytime I read a book or I'm realizing, I need to reevaluate my understanding of the world. I would be afraid if that wasn't happening. But when I started teaching, I always thought, oh, as soon as I've done this class a couple times, this will be so much easier. Mm-hmm. And yet, I teach these courses over and over again, and I'm constantly revising. Because we learn different things, and our contemporary world changes how we understand it. So, yeah.
And I like that.
I'm sure in a few years, though, I'll be giving the canned lectures again, and the same jokes again, and it'll be like, Nelson, and times have changed. I'm not there yet, but I'll get there. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, how has teaching changed since you first started?
Oh my God. I used overheads when I first came to PC. Do you guys know what overheads are?
The overhead projectors?
Where you had a little transparency.
Yeah.
I use that. So just to give you an idea from going from, you're just like, what, wait, what? Yeah, so, when I came, we still had overheads, and obviously the internet has, why do you need Dr. Nelson when you have Dr. Google? Mm-hmm. You know, and so I don't see it as a challenge, just like AI. I don't see it as a threat. I see it as another tool to use to try to facilitate learning. So I try to do that. I don't do any social media stuff. I know some of my colleagues have gotten into that. Obviously BlueTube is one of those. But the other way that teaching has changed is in the students. Their attention is shorter. Their ability to tap into information in the world is greater. But their apathy, perhaps, is maybe more so. We assume that students have knowledge of how to use technology to learn information. What we come to realize is students have knowledge of how to use social media and certain aspects of technology, but not necessarily for information. Mm-hmm. So that's all changed. And then the last thing is just the character of who we have at PC. When I came, predominantly upper middle class white students who were wealthy. Mm-hmm. And that we have become much more diversified, not only in the racial makeup of our school, but geographically speaking. I mean, I never would have had students coming from the north or from the west, and now I get athletes and students coming from all over, which brings a different sort of challenge of, okay, let's connect these, and it's not just South Carolina references. Yeah. So, but when I first came, most everybody was South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Oh, okay. Now, increasingly, I get a handful of people, hey, you're from Wilmette, Illinois, where I was from, or you're from this part of New York, where so kind of cool in that regard.
Yeah. What about the amount of foreign exchange students now at PC?
Ebbs and flows. Yeah. I mean, at different times we've had different, a few more. I mean, obviously the political climate right now, I'm not sure a whole lot of people in the world want to flock to the U.S.
Yeah.
We're not the most welcoming. So, but no, I love having foreign students in my classes from the perspective they bring, and I'm always in awe of them. I mean, I can't imagine being college age and going and studying abroad for credit where it's not my first language. I just have a lot of respect for those people who, make their way to PC, from wherever they come from.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, it does. It does.
All right, so on to our next hot sauce. We have alchemy peppers. My eyes are starting to water a little bit.
You know what alchemy is? Alchemy is the science, the outdated science of trying to change materials, gold into lead, or lead into gold.
Okay.
So, in a sense, taking whatever they take and turning it into some sort of heat for us. Here's again.
Again, not initially hot like I would expect it to be.
I'm waiting for the kick to get it. Yeah. And there's a little heat there, but not bad.
Yeah. They taste good.
Oh yeah, they're very tasty.
They're not like hot, like, oh my God, I'm
burn your mouth.
I'm burning my mouth.
It's not hot that I have to drink. I'm just thirsty, actually.
Okay, so what went into the process of you choosing some of your specialties that you work in?
Always been fascinated by JFK, kid. It was not something that was really ever talked about other than, there must have been some conspiracy, but before the internet, it wasn't easy to get stuff unless you had an independent bookstore. Mainstream news didn't cover it, so I've always been fascinated by that. And military history, I really actually got pulled into that because my training is really in diplomatic history, dealing with the Cold War, but you can't teach the Cold War without learning military history. And so because of that, I got pulled into it. And once you get into any kind of history, it's really kind of fascinating. So that's kind of what has directed me into those things.
Okay.
And my love for college football has allowed me to teach an occasional class on that. So, yeah.
So what historical event do you think most people really misunderstand?
Well, I could say the JFK assassination because the mainstream opinion is Lee Harvey Oswald killed him, and the evidence increasingly suggests there's a whole lot more behind the scenes to that, but we don't know exactly what that is. Other than our current political world where we're trying to make sense of what's craziness, I don't know. I mean, there's all sorts of myths in American history, everything from, the first settlers coming over for religious freedom. The reality was they wanted to practice their religion and impose that upon others. And if you didn't abide by that, you were fined, or you were punished, or you were expelled from a colony. So that's one of those. Another one that we see in modern world today, that we were formed as this Christian nation. With all due respect to Christianity, we weren't. Our enlightened founders were mostly deists. This is why we have separation of church and state. And yet we have this myth that, we were born as this Christian white nation. So those are some of those founding myths that I think people get wrong.
Yeah. So what's one of your historical facts you wish more people knew?
Historical fact that more people knew? I'm going to steer clear from contemporary politics. I'll be just a general critic that maybe this goes back to the same thing about the myth. Historical fact that we talk about being the land of the free, or we talk about independence, when in fact the overwhelming majority of the population were not granted the rights that gentlemen of property and standing were. If you were white, adult, property holding male, you were granted these rights. And we just have assumed that, we're the land of the free. We sing it before the national, before football games and stuff. And if you really take a critical look at American history, it's not necessarily the case for large groups of Americans.
Okay, that brings us to our next hot sauce here.
Makes me sound like a hater, but
no, speaking the truth, we have hook and arrow. Heat scales a little bit.
Yeah. So these have numbers on them, right?
Yeah, they have a heat rating.
Okay. I don't put the lid on. That's the heat rating. Okay. Are you a sauerkraut fan?
No, I actually didn't like sauerkraut till I was like 20. So last year.
At Scottoberfest?
Yeah.
Have it at Scottoberfest?
Yeah, I actually did. Got a chance to eat a little bit of it, and then someone's always putting it on like a hot dog or something.
Yeah. All right. Cheers again. Different taste.
Yeah, that one has, the kick is a little weird. I don't know how to describe it.
It's a mustard. Yeah, well, that's good. Clear up my sinuses. Awesome. Okay.
All right, so next question is, what's the most surprising thing you've learned so far while being at PC? It could be about history, it could be about the history of PC or learning habits.
It would probably be just the uniqueness of Southern life. Yeah, no, not in bad ways, but just living in a small town in the South. I'll share a quick little story. The very first, literally weeks we moved in, and our house is an old house, 2-story, and we only had a bathtub upstairs, but we had a shower downstairs. So if you wanted to shower, you had to go downstairs. And it just so happens to be at the glass door that looks out through our backyard. Not the most private setup initially, but, long story short, my parents are visiting, trying to convince my parents that we don't live in some backwater town. And Saturday morning, there is a man in our backyard in camouflage with a rifle shooting squirrels out of the trees up against our garage. I wasn't home. I come home. My wife is freaking out. I call the city, whatever, 911, whatever number it was. And I said, I've got a guy who's in my backyard with a gun. I think he's shooting squirrels. And their response is he black? And I'm like, what is that? Before I could answer, they're like, because if that's Roy or some name, he's not supposed to be shooting squirrels till 9 o'clock. Like, wait a second. He is black. Oh, then that's just Earl or Roy or someone. And I'm like, he's allowed to just come in. Well, he's not supposed to be in your yard without permission, but I'm guessing a neighbor called him. And I was like, okay, where I'm from, this guy would be killed. But it was just this world of just like, wow, okay, I get it. He doesn't come around and shoot the squirrels anymore. I don't understand why he ever did. But part of this war against nature that some people have. But it was just like this, it wasn't a bad thing. Kind of funny. From the outside, if you didn't know, you'd be offended. And but when you get into it, you realize, it speaks to the intimate relationships that develop in a small town and things that you kind of look and laugh at times.
Yeah.
Things that you're like, this is ridiculous, but I guess it works here. So, and it just becomes normal. So, yeah. And PC used to do that. They don't do it anymore, but during fall break, they used to have maintenance come out and they would hunt all the squirrels on campus.
I heard about that.
And students would be outraged as they got into the 90s, and it wasn't going on when I was in 2000 as far as I know, but needless to say, there was like, how still has Darwin? What are we doing? So, I guess that's it. I don't know if it answers the question.
Yeah.
It's a fun little story.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think for me especially, because I'm originally from Maryland.
Okay.
So I think the biggest thing moving to the South was seeing the squatted trucks.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that, of course, we're going to see this weekend is the craziness over winter. It's winter weather.
Yeah, everything's shutting down.
So when we had maybe 6 inches of snow, I don't know, 5, 7, 10 years ago, whenever it was, I came up to the office. My old office was the front of Neville, and I hear this horrible sound out in the street, and I look out, and it's one of these trucks, and they are pulling a metal rowboat that has a guy who is surfing inside. There's nobody on the roads, and they come flying up, and here's this rowboat that's being pulled down the street, just and I'm like, there we go. So yeah, good old boys enjoying the winter snow. So yeah.
All right, let's get into the next sauce.
All right, moving into the hotter ones.
Yep, moving into the hotter ones.
You want to go ahead and pass me the file? We'll pass the next file. those three.
Last. Yeah, the sauerkraut mustard wasn't my favorite. Not terrible.
I think the sriracha one's probably my favorite.
Any of those first ones were good.
Yeah.
And then Josh, you can just introduce yourself and keep on going.
All right, so for this sauce, we have the Hot Ones Tropical.
It's fun to talk about PC.
Yeah.
We did a Sarah Burns and I, psychology professor, and her husband. If I can smell this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a little Tabasco-esque flavor to or smell to it. We did an interview about PC back in the day because she graduated from here with her husband. It was really fun to tell some of the stories about some of the craziness. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Okay, the kick's definitely a little there. It's pretty good though.
Yeah. I'm not really feeling the heat yet, but I'm sure I will.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like they're all a little tangy.
Yeah, that one is good. Tropical Amarillo. Alright.
So, the next question is probably one of my favorite questions is, if you could have dinner with any historical figure, dead or alive, for any time period,
Yeah.
what would it be? Who would it be?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, how could you not want to sit down with like Lee Harvey Oswald and just ask him all these questions?
Yeah.
And just to figure out, just to talk with him, to figure out, okay, was this guy involved? But then of course you have people like, Gandhi and Jesus and MLK and yeah, I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you I'll go with Lee Harvey Oswald, though that's really kind of the weak answer, but but then you also have, I would love to have dinner with like my grandfather or those people who have passed away that I knew as a little kid that I'd love to know now about their history and whatnot.
Yeah.
Not that they're historical figures, but they are to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would love to watch a football game with Obama. That would be great.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I probably would stay away from most presidents, most politicians, because I've found that most any politician I've ever met are very off-putting, anyways. It's like, but yeah, he would be interesting. Nelson Mandela would be a figure that would be interesting. Che Guevara would be an interesting figure. Emma Goldman, anarchist from back in the day who was a proponent of free love. Some of these more interesting, kind of unique people out there. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're actually gonna do, each question is gonna get their own.
Oh, okay.
Now we're moving quick here. All right. Great. That's a big chunk of chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with the smaller pieces.
All right, our next hot sauce is apricot hot.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I like apricot. There's some very good apricot wheat beers out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Dry Dock Brewing out in Colorado. You taste it and you're like, oh my God, this is like flavored water. It's so good. It goes down so quickly. All right.
All right.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't think that's hot at all.
It initially tasted like licorice to me.
No.
And then I get the apricot, but okay.
All
Wasn't
right.
bad.
Yeah.
It's a little, my tongue's feeling it a little bit.
It tastes really good. I think this one was way hotter.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's a hobby that you have that might surprise your students?
Well, it's a hobby I have that I love to walk the beach, and because of my grandmother, I became somewhat fluent in seashells. So I can walk along the beach and I can tell you about all different names of seashells. Not necessarily a hobby, but everything else. Music, I think students know.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking beer, I think students know. Traveling, I think students know. So, yeah, I'll go with seashells.
Seashells.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really have a lot of hobbies. I spend a lot of time here.
Yeah.
I don't have a home office. This is my home office, so I just live a quarter mile away. So I come up here all the time.
Yeah, most professors do live really close. I feel like it
Quite a
helps
few.
out little bit.
Yeah, quite a few. So more and more live in Greenville and
Simpsonville.
yeah, which I get.
Mm-hmm. All right. Our next sauce is we have Da Bomb.
See it the wrong way.
There we go.
You don't know.
So you actually have to hit it this way, so the inertia.
Really?
Yeah. When you hit it this way, you're forcing it back up. Yeah. Seriously.
Something new every day.
Sure, try it sometime. Oh, I think it doesn't smell good. Doesn't even look good. Let's see if it tastes good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Taste how it smells.
Yeah. Look.
Actually, I don't like that. Can you give me my water?
Not an award-winning taste. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't like that. It doesn't. It's not even hot. It just doesn't taste right.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. All right.
A little warm though.
Yeah.
I get it in the throat. I can taste it there.
So, what's the best advice you've ever gotten from someone?
Enjoy the journey. Yeah. Real quick answer. Yeah. And I've always known that. That it's not the destination, it is the journey that makes it worthwhile.
Okay.
So, you feeling it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hot.
It doesn't even taste good. It just is like burnt.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's starting to kick in.
You didn't even put the sauce on the wing yet. Let's talk about next question.
Oh yeah. This one got me a little messed up.
You're sweating.
All right, this one's called Sucker Punch.
Okay.
Just so you know, that's supposed to be 600,000 Scoville units.
So I don't know what those are. I mean,
I just know that's like the spice measuring scale, and it like does a drastic jump from the last one y'all did. The bomb was 135,000.
600?
690,000, so pretty much
Oh my God,
700,000.
you kidding me?
Yeah, and then the final one, 2,700,000.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right,
All right.
we gotta eat it. Here we go.
Comes away. Yeah.
We got it going on. Okay.
That didn't help.
No, I wouldn't think it would. I'm gonna go back to these earlier sauces. Those at least tasted good. These don't even taste good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
They're just like hot. It's hard to explain.
Boy, you really feel it. Mm-hmm.
You know, you're still supposed to ask some questions,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. All right,
Doing all right
so
here.
That was the second to last sauce.
Yeah.
So, last question is.
All right.
Excuse me. What legacy do you hope to leave here?
Oh, what legacy? I don't know. Hopefully, I inspire people to, I don't know, find their calling to do. I don't know. The greatest compliment I get is when people who are not interested in history take my class and come away with a fascination and appreciation for history. And so, yeah, I hope it's part of a larger story of PC that they realize that really a cool, unique opportunity and time in your life to explore different things, and hopefully I'm part of that and turning people on to new knowledge as your mouth is burning away and you're having trouble with it. So.
Yeah, the focus is kind of starting to get there.
Yeah. It's good though.
Yeah. All right.
It's a good little heat going.
Yeah. Then we have the Hot Ones last dab.
I'm just gonna do a dab of that.
Yeah.
You do it however you want. I know you don't believe me. Oh yeah. No, I'm just a little dab will do ya. That other stuff in my throat. Now this is what? 1 million or whatever?
2,700,000.
Wow.
Make sure y'all put enough on there to taste it.
I think I'll be able to taste it. All
Yeah,
right.
I think that will too. All right,
Stab.
cheers. Famous last words.
Yeah. Definitely a good idea not to put more than a dab.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's some heat. We got some sweat.
Yeah.
I got some.
Can breathe real
open
clear.
air.
Want some milk?
What you need is peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
So in India, you do the peanut satay, and the peanuts will balance out the heat. So take jalapeno peppers, okay? Cut them in half. You can leave the seeds in or take them out, whatever you want. But then fill them with peanut butter. They're amazing. They're fresh, and people are like, oh, it's gonna be super spicy, but the peanut butter mellows it out. I eat those quite a bit.
Okay. Good little fun fact.
I love hot sauce. I live on Texas peanuts. So. Yeah. I was snacking on my buffalo hot wing pretzels up in the office this afternoon, thinking, okay, I'm gonna be eating hot wings later. All right, I made it.
Yeah, you made it. Whew, pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you think of the sauces?
Those two I didn't like. Most of these are too hot. The first ones I thought were very tasty, and those were super good.
Yeah.
So, wings or whatever. But yeah, once you get to a certain point. But this thing, I can feel it.
Yeah.
My tongue is swollen, but yeah, it's good.
Yeah, these just hurt.
So,
But thank you for being a guest on the show.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you again on Scot's Ones.
yeah, cool. Thank you. You're feeling it, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.